Good morning, everyone. How are you? Fine. Only fine. Huh? Happy? Okay. So, welcome to Fast Track Batch on Indirect Taxes for CA Final new syllabus. So, May 24 and November 24. First things first. And how many of you are appearing for November 24 exam? Okay. So, even online students, I presume some of you might be appearing for November 24. There is no difference between May 24 and November 24 this time. Reason being, right now our government is going to face the elections. So this budget will definitely be an interim budget. So not much revamp things will happen. So cosmetic changes only. So again the new government will form and it will come into, it will take time. So that will be somewhere like July, August and all. And if at all they make any changes at that time, that will not be applicable for November 24 exam. So that will be again for May 25 exams only. And you might be knowing that this particular May 24 exam may not happen in May 24 exactly. So I think you might be aware. So according to me, May 24 attempt is really a golden chance. So in what way, so time also you have, and this being the first attempt in new syllabus, so little bit it will be predictable. In what way? I remember May 2018 when the syllabus changed. Actually you guys were into that only. May 2018 change in syllabus. So at that time what happened is that I told to my intermediate students who are now CA final students. So I told them, definitely you will get questions from study material only, because ICAI has released all new study materials. Prepare from that study materials, definitely you will get questions from that. It happened. 2 attempts, May 2018 and November 2018. Going backwards, in 2006 I think they changed, like not 2006, sometime in 2012 like that, they changed the syllabus. It was from PCC, IPCC, so that conversion has happened. So at that time also the same thing. I have seen 3 such generations, PE1, PE2 to IPCC, PCC. Thereafter intermediate, thereafter now change in syllabus. But one thing that I observe in every change in syllabus is that the first attempt and the second attempt after change in syllabus, mostly the questions will be from the study material. So because they have published the new study materials, so then the students should read those study materials first, correct or not? But what we do is that we read the reference books and refer the study materials. Reverse we will do. We should study the study materials and read the reference books, but we will do reverse. We will read the reference books and study the study materials. We will not do that, and because of which in exam we will go, they will give one question and we feel that question is difficult, but actually that question nothing, it would have been taken from the study material and they would have given. So because 90% of the CA students will not know what are all the questions which are there in the study material, they blindly depend on CA faculties. In a way it is good only, so for the CA faculties, but it will not be good for the students. Okay, so therefore that is first thing I wanted to clarify, that I have provided you 2 books, that is revised book and solved workbook. So these 2 books are comprehensive. Beyond this you don't have to read anything. This itself you will not have time to complete, because you join now only for the fast track batch, and if you can complete this itself, so great. So you can definitely expect somewhere 70 plus marks. Okay, and so therefore sir, should we refer to anything else apart from this study material? You have referred the study material questions I gave in the solved workbook itself. In the solved workbook, that's a compilation of some 800 plus questions are there. In that 800 plus questions, I gave all the ICAI study material questions, and even in the first few pages of the solved workbook, if you see, you will be able to identify So mighty 200 questions. So I have given the top 200 questions based on May 24 exams. So which is applicable for May 24 in the sense like I did not retain the same. So whatever for November 23, again I did little analysis and I just gave this 200 questions. So this mighty 200 questions, the question number I have given, chapter, question number and the page number. You need to refer to the respective page number and the chapter numbers for the purpose of solving this. This is priority. Even though I have given 800 plus questions, practically you may not be able to solve all the 800 questions. It will be difficult, I can understand. But if you are solving this, well and good. If you are not, it's in one page. After amendments you can see. After amendments you can see that. Just turn little few pages. I have given all the amendments for May 24 exams in one place. Even I have given that in respective places also, but for easy reference I gave you all amendments of May 24 exam in the beginning itself, so that it will be easy for you like to know what are the amendments. And immediately after amendments I gave mighty 200 questions. So these 200 questions is your first priority, first and foremost priority. In this, some ICAI study material questions are also there. Okay. Now what I am going to do in this fast track batch itself is that we will be covering all the provisions. Definitely I will be covering all the provisions, of course, that is there on my shoulders. Apart from that, we will also be solving questions from this solved workbook, and my target is that I want to complete all ICAI study material questions, and those study material questions are there in this 200 questions also. So the remaining questions you need to practice. That's the first priority. And say, sir, I have completed these 200 questions and thereafter really I wanted to practice. You can, definitely you can, but without completing these 200 questions you should not touch the remaining questions. Done? And in the class itself I will be covering some questions. So because as in our batch itself, because I cannot be doing only theory, so it will be boring. How much time you will listen? So I have to definitely solve the question and answer. So I will do the question and answers, and majorly I will be covering all important questions and all, but 200 questions definitely I don't know whether I will be able to cover or not. But I say study material questions was my first objective, because I told you the strategy also that if you are appearing for May 24, mostly the questions will be from study material. So that's why I want to give importance to those questions first. So that I will be covering, that you don't worry. Apart from that, maybe some here and there important questions if there, so those also I will cover. Done? Then. So this book you bring daily to the class. It will be difficult only to carry 2 books, but carry, no, nothing will happen. So because whenever we complete a particular concept, immediately we will solve the questions also. So it will be easy for you to know what you learnt and the application. Majority of the students, what I see is that they fail in 2 aspects. Actually CA students, that too at CA final level, if you are in CA final, so not that you are dumb, no, you cleared CA foundation. Of course after clearing foundation you will be dumb only. It's like foundation is not something great and all. So because anyone can clear foundation nowadays, but intermediate, yes, that's a challenge. I can definitely appreciate that, but I don't know in future, because future only 6 papers in intermediate. So therefore I don't know, but you guys great, 8 papers you completed, and that too 2 accounts papers and 1 daredevil called as EISSM, those paper and all if you have completed means really you are talented. So therefore CA final students fail in exam because of 2 reasons. They don't know the application knowledge. What is application knowledge? They know that this is the provision, but they don't know that this provision needs to be applied in this place. So this problem, you know, students will have majority and that too those students who do self-study will have this problem a lot. So because what they do is that they keep on reading, but they will not apply it on the questions, and when they apply it on the questions also, they do audit of the question and answers. What is this audit of question and answer? They see the question, they see the answer. Okay, for this question this answer is correct. Proofreading work they do. Majority of you also might be doing the same. So you will read the question, you will also read the answer. Okay, so this question, this is the answer, but you will never make an effort to close the answer, write the answer, and then cross check what is the answer that you have got. Only when you do that, you are learning, you are applying. Otherwise what happens is that the moment you see the question, you see the answer, so you know that for this question this is the answer, but if they make any tweak to that question and if they coin a new question, particularly taxation, you cannot expect the same question to be repeated. Maybe in AFM to some extent, FR to some extent, but not in DT and IDT. It will never happen like that. So they create new questions. When they create a new questions, you will not know what to do in that. You will get stuck. In the exam, you see the question, but in the answer sheet, the pen will not move. So why this problem will happen? This is where we are all lacking application knowledge. So what we need to do in order to improve our application knowledge? I have given you the solve workbook, and that contains lot of question and answers. The moment we complete each and every chapter, what you need to do is that you need to just take the question. Don't see the answer. Answer will be there below itself. Don't see the answer. Just take the question and take the paper, some paper you take, rough sheet, and you try to write the answer. You try to write. When you write that, maybe 1 or 2 questions, it will take lot of time, hell lot of time. Maybe throughout the day when you sit also, hardly 4 questions or 5 questions you may do. And in that, around 100 mistakes will be there. It's okay. That is the learning process. Now, once you commit the mistake, I will say those students who commit the mistakes are the ones those who are going to become successful in the exam. You know why? Because they will not do the mistake in the exam. If you are not doing any mistakes here, you will definitely do the mistake there in the exam, and the result will not be in your favor. So if the result needs to be in your favor, you should weed out your mistakes. How to weed out your mistakes? Commit the mistakes now. How to commit the mistakes now? Don't see the answer and write the answer in the paper and then cross check. You can introspect yourself. You are the best judge of yourself. You don't need anyone. You see the answer, you see whatever is given in the book, and you see what you have written, and you will know your reality. Like that you will spit on that. Okay, so you will know, correct, this is not the way in which I should have written. There you are learning something. What is that? So this is the way in which I need to present. This is the stupid mistake. This is the silly mistake I did. I should not repeat this. So like that, when we keep on weeding out our mistakes, so then you will evolve yourself in a stage where any new question comes in the exam, you will be able to do that, and these mistakes you will not repeat in the exam hall. And thereby, definitely you will be successful. Sir, everyone will prepare. Without preparing, no student is going for exam. Everyone will read. Maybe in the preparation, effort it may differ, but everyone is preparing. But what is the intensity of the preparation? How much is the effort that you are putting is very important. It's not hours. It's not hours. It's the quantum. It's not in terms of, hours and hours. I am sitting, sir, I am keeping the book. No. How much effective are you? You sit 1 hour also, but are you effective in that 1 hour? Are you throwing your mobile aside, and are you keeping everything aside and sitting for that 1 hour? You yourself answer this question. You will know what is the mistake that you are doing. You are all thinking that, okay, I spend hours and hours, but why am I not successful? You will be. You will be, provided the effectiveness increases in terms of the preparation. How to increase the effectiveness? The focus should be important. So focus will come only when you are not having any kind of deviations. What is the deviations? So mobile is the biggest deviation today. And the thoughts. So when you are preparing for indirect taxes, you will immediately remember DT and you will jump to DT book. And when you take the DT book, immediately you will remember AFM or FR, and gone, completely gone. You don't know what to. And multiple books, there will be multiple books around you and you don't know which book to read, what to read, etc. and all. So this is another problem, wherein one mini bookshop people will be maintaining. No? Yeah, definitely it will happen. So you don't know what to read. Some portion you will read from one book and some portion you will read from another book. And for DT itself, you won't believe, students are reading so 5-10 books, different books, not even one faculty. So they say, sir, I will follow BB sir's compact book for these chapters, and some other faculty, Vinod Gupta sir's problems and solutions book I will buy. Why? I don't know. So maybe some idiot would have told you that he followed that and you will also follow him. Why you need to do that? Believe in one person in your life. Definitely you should believe in one person. So tomorrow you are going to get married. So what if that girl is not believing in you? What will be your situation? Or you are not believing that girl, what is her situation? Belief is the fundamental stone here. So you should believe. Whom you should believe? The teacher or the book which you have purchased. Believe in that. And you are not targeting here 99 out of 100. Definitely no. Correct? Are you aiming for All India first rank? So if that be the case, you would not have sat in the first fast track batch. Because those who really want ranks and all, they go for regular batch. Why they go for fast track batch? Maybe they would have completed one regular batch and then again come for the fast track batch. If you are a ranker, this discussion and all is not required for you, because you yourself know whatever I am going to tell. But here the problem is, you all need exactly 200 out of 400, and now it is going to be 300 out of 600, correct? Group 1, Group 2. So Group 1 300, Group 2 300. Anyhow SPOM shifted. I don't know, it may be thrown also. God only knows. I don't know, really I don't know about that SPOM, the self-paced online module, how it is going to work out. It may be implemented or not, but even if it is implemented, you know what to do with respect to that, because it is just the inky pinky ponky only. And then IBS paper, already writ has been filed on IBS paper. I don't know whether it will be there or not, and we can expect any time the judgment which says that ICI should give relaxation for this IBS paper for 2 attempts like that, but don't have the hope on that and all, judgment and all. If it comes, it's a good thing. If it is not also, it's fine. But literally 600 marks. How many marks you need? In both groups, 300. 300 out of 600. Not 1 mark more, 1 mark less, correct? If we get extra marks also, we'll courier it back to ICI. We don't need that. We don't need actually. So what we need is exactly that, first priority, first priority. And to get that, what you need to do is the back work. I need to clear any cost. If I need to clear at any cost, so I will follow one book first. And you know what is the advantage by following only one book? The moment you keep on seeing that book, there is something called as flash memory or photographic memory that will play a key role. So in exam, when you see the question, you will get that image of the book in the mind. The flash will appear. Okay, this is the provision easily. When you see it for the first time, you will not get it. So this is where people who fall in love, you know, they will be seeing the other person frequently, so that when they close their eyes also, they will be able to see their face. Why? Because this many times they would have seen. And just like that, one time if you see and all, you cannot remember the face. You will remember the outer appearance, but you will not remember the face, everything. So therefore, you understood what I am telling? Start loving your book. You understood or not? So whether you read or not, look at it once daily. Morning you get up, you look into your book. Nice, you look so beautiful. So therefore, see the pages. When you keep on seeing the same book, automatically that will flash in your mind, and you don't know, in exam hall it will add. So you read, like you are seeing the question, immediately that page will come in your mind and that number will be flashing. For example, there is one concept called as this valuation. How much should be taken as value in case of air travel agent? 5% of the base fare in case of domestic bookings and 10% of the base fare in case of international bookings, like that one point is there. This percentage you don't know, but in exam hall when you are sitting and you get that question, the moment you see the question, immediately that page will flash in your mind and you know, easily you will identify that 5%, 10%, you will know and you can definitely take. There are many questions like that. We see the first 30 marks MCQ and the next first question is a compulsory question which is for 14 marks. Actually this is the only difficult area, but see the rest of the area is not difficult. I hope you know the paper pattern. So they are not going to change the paper pattern in new syllabus, they will continue the same. So the first 30 marks is MCQ and thereafter you need to write 5 questions. Each question carries 14 marks. In that the first question is a compulsory question which is a comprehensive one. So that covers provisions from different chapters. This is the area which is difficult. Which area? That question number 1 and the MCQ part. Yes, don't depend on MCQ and go for exam. Don't think, okay, 30 marks MCQ, I will go for exam and that 30 marks I will get 25 out of 30. No, definitely not. Only if you have studied the subject properly, you will be able to score in MCQ. MCQ is not a scoring area in CA exams. Many people will be, thinking the other way. So MCQ I will able to score 25 out of 30 or 20 out of 30 and in descriptive I get 30 out of 70. So I will clear. No, no boss, not like that, because in MCQ the options are such that all the options seems to be correct. It's like for Chinese people or Korean people sitting in one table and they will give you one photograph and ask you to identify who is who. Everyone will be the same. Everyone will be the same. So this BTS, like that one, troop is there. So in that BTS, my daughter knows who is who, and she will be able to identify. And if she shows me that I don't know who is who, really I don't know. Everyone look the same way, and I don't know whether they are male or female also. So that is the situation where we are in, and like that the options will be here. In the 4 options we don't know. You do a mistake, you end up with one answer, that answer will be there. You do one mistake, you will end up with one answer, that answer will be there as one of the option. Maybe they have taken one room and sit and they will create the questions or not, I don't know. So that much difficult the MCQs are, and because every time the exams gets over, so some students will be scanning that MCQ paper. They go to the exam mainly for that only. So they register for the course and they go to the exam hall and they sit and scan that paper and they will come and upload it in their Telegram group, because a lot of students will be following the Telegram group, and once more number of students comes into the Telegram group, they will be approaching teachers like me. Sir, we have 5 lakh students, sir, 10 lakh students, sir, you can post your batches and all in that. So per post you have to pay 500 rupees, like this. Whether you do CA or not, this kind of business and all you will do properly, okay. So therefore, for the sake of this, many students are going. So incidentally, we will also be able to see the MCQ paper, and after seeing the MCQ paper, no, I understood, okay, come on. We should never cheat the students by telling them, okay, you depend on MCQs. Definitely not. Unless otherwise you are having complete knowledge of the subject, you will be able to answer the MCQs. Otherwise, it is not. So therefore, where is the area where you need to focus more on is question number 2 to question number 6. In that question number 2 to question number 6, you have to write 4 questions, and that 4 questions is for 14 marks each. That is the area where you need to make the maximum marks, and incidentally, this question number 2 to question number 6, you will not have a big question and all. Each question will be 5 marks question and 4 marks questions only. You will not have 10 marks question or 14 marks question in that. So because the question size is small, it is just application of few concepts. easily you will be able to score. So that should be our target. You understood what I am talking about? So therefore 4 questions of 56 marks, correct? 14 into 4, and in that 56 marks our target should be easily 40 marks at any cost, 40 plus. There we are able to score 40 plus. And then in the MCQ for 30 marks, so our target should be like 15. So 40 plus 15, half, 15. So that is 55. And then in the first question, 14 marks question, half, 7 marks. So therefore 60 to 63. This is the way in which you need to prepare. You understood? Clear? So therefore you got how to score an exemption. Got the clarity? So therefore if you want 80s, then you should be thorough with the subject, and in MCQs you will be able to get that. 15 only you got. So now 10 marks extra in MCQ you are getting, and in the first question descriptive you are getting some 5 marks extra. That's where your score will be pushed to 70 plus. And suppose if you are preparing superbly, so superbly, your score will be touching 85 plus. Got it? So therefore know the basics, know the rules first, and before playing the game. So this is a game and you should know the rules properly. Okay? Then coming back to the discussion of that, the way of your preparation, why CA students fail. The first thing I told you was the application problem. So they don't know how to apply the provisions because they will not be able to recollect the provisions in the exam hall, and they don't know in this place what is the point that I need to write. For that they will fail. Second, presentation. They know the answer, but they don't know how to do the presentation. So this is the another problem. So they will think that, okay, I know the answer, and they do conclude the answer. Only conclusions they will write. They will not know what is the way in which they need to present. For example, they will be giving one question. They will say that one person has imported the services without any consideration, and that is not for his business purpose, that is for his personal purpose, and therefore is it supply or not a supply, like that one point is there. What we will write? It is not a supply, it is supply. This much only we know. Like how two people discuss, no, like that we will say yes, no, maybe, like that. How you will get marks? So because I have seen many answer sheets, so because students will be coming and telling me, sir, I expected 80 marks, sir, but I got only 50 marks, sir. So immediately I'll ask them, okay, get me the evaluated answer sheet, that certified copy you get me. So let me check once, because where you went wrong I need to know. And as a faculty, I'll take the classes the same way to every student. Some students will get 80 plus marks and they get ranks also. Some students will get 50s and 40s and they may fail because of the aggregate problem also. But I am the same faculty, and because a student got a rank, I cannot take the credit. Because a student who failed, it's not because of me. I am independent. So therefore, where they would have went wrong, I need to evaluate them. So when I see the answer sheet, that's where I will be able to know answer correct, but the presentation issue. For 4 marks they would have got 1 mark. For 4 marks they would have got 2 marks. Sir, already those who are evaluating the papers, I don't know what is the psychic problem for them. They might be under some pressure or some issue they have. Already those who are evaluating, really I don't know what is the kind of psychological behavior that they are undergoing. So because I can see answer will be perfectly written, for that 4 out of 4 they will never give. They will give hardly 2 marks, 3 marks, like that only they are giving. Already they are not giving full marks. Even though ICA has given beautifully, you don't know how the key and all will be. I saw the key which will be sent to the evaluators for evaluation. I saw the key. Amazing it will be. Step marks will be given. Like a table they will make, and in the table left hand side, so gap will be there, and right hand side they will write, if this point is written, 0.5 marks. If this point is written, 0.5 marks. Like that step marking will be given to the evaluators. They will not release that for suggested answers. Whatever you get as suggested answers is not the way in which it is sent to the evaluation. For evaluation and all, superbly they will send, and even alternatives they will give. If the student has written this, so kindly award marks, like that and all they will be showing in the key. So therefore step marks are there, but these people are not properly giving the step marks. That's where if you see the evaluated answer sheets and all, so circles they will be mentioning. So these circles are for the purpose of giving the step marks, but few circles blank will be there and 2, 3 like that they will put. So because evaluation issues is already there, and you be careful with respect to what you are writing. So the presentation should be so good. Did anyone tell to you that handwriting is not at all important? Did anyone tell to you that handwriting is not important for CA exams and all? Don't believe in them. Maybe their handwriting is not good. Okay, don't believe in them. Handwriting is important. For human being is evaluating. Already physical papers went into electronic papers. Now no one is sending the manual papers. Everything is converted into electronic, and we don't know what kind of system they are using. Okay, maybe when they joined articleship, one laptop would have been given. That might be continuing even today also. Okay, so therefore this evaluation in that 14-inch screen they will see, and they do the evaluation. You understood? And if the handwriting itself is bad, the moment they scan it and they upload it, then you can understand what will happen. Normally if the handwriting is good itself, the moment it is scanned, what will happen, you know, correct? So then the way you are writing, if you are writing like doctor itself, now like doctors when they write, only 2 people will know their handwriting, doctor himself and the medical shop. We will not know what they have written. I don't know why they will be writing like that. So now you guys also start writing that way, no one will understand what it is. Now think of my situation. If I am an evaluator, for evaluating your 100 marks paper, you know how much I will be paid? 100 rupees I will be paid. 100 rupees. Now do you think for 100 rupees I will take that much effort? Definitely no. Students are, their careers are, no boss. Gone are those days. We are in Kali Yuga. Okay. So maybe if it is in Treta Yuga or Dwapar Yuga, we can expect. Okay. Don't expect. For the sake of 100 rupees, think about someone's career. No sir. That much of good people we don't have, sir. Okay. So therefore you be careful. Improve your handwriting. If not, leave a line gap and write. You write line by line, points, paragraph you are not able to write, at least write it like points, or leave one line gap and write, so that the handwriting will be little legible. Sir, answer sheet. Already CA Institute is having 12,000 crores of fixed deposit. 12,000 crores FD. You understood? You don't have to save them. So it's okay. Answer booklet, even if it is additional also, you take the additional. You don't save the money for them. Already they have been in profits. The richest institute it is. Okay. Crores and crores they have here. Why you save the money? You take, it's okay. And you will never be able to complete the answer booklet fully also. Okay. So you give one line gap and you write. You can sit here or there. Okay. So keep these things in mind. Sir, why I am telling you all these things in the beginning? I can tell all these things at the end also. But I wanted to tell you the reality in the beginning itself, so that as we progress, you will apply this in the learning process for that reason. And as you join for this fast track batch, you all will be added to the test series. So this test series, we have divided the entire portion into 8 chapter wise tests, and there will be question paper. First a revision video will be there, thereafter question paper, and you need to write the answers. So it is like self evaluation for your purpose. Only 2 mock tests, finally 2 mock tests, 200 marks mock test we will evaluate for you. Okay. Whereas remaining tests and all you need to write, and it's a self evaluation. So you see the revision video, and thereafter because we started batch today only, by tomorrow or day after tomorrow you will be added to the test series, and in the Telegram group they will give you the details as to how to access the test series, etc. There will be a revision video, go through that revision video. As soon as the chapter gets over, like 2-3 chapters combinedly, one test will be there. Each test will be for 50 marks, and the moment that chapters get over, you see the revision video of that, then you take the question paper, you write the answers. Immediately after that there is an answer explanation video also. You see the answer explanation video, there I would have given the step marking and all. So thereafter you just give the step marks for you, you yourself evaluate how many marks you are getting. You please practice that. When sir we should do that? The batch will not be there on Sundays. Classes will not be there on Sundays. So during Sundays you sit and write the test. And even after the batch gets over also, the test series access you will be having, you can write that later also. So therefore now during the time the batch is progressing, so you try to write in the Sundays whenever we don't have the classes. So I am not asking you to write during the time when we have the classes. And the scheduled batch completion is on 6th of Feb. 6th of Feb will be the batch completion, not beyond that. Already I considered lot of days as buffer days, and I kept 6th of Feb as the end date. We are starting today. So today is 22nd of Jan, and the batch will go up to 6th of Feb, and the number of days I wanted to take class is for 12 days, and the class timings will be from morning 9 AM to evening 6 PM, and sometimes maybe I will be leaving early also, like half an hour, depending upon that day's volume of the portion, etc. And for every 2 hours we will have a break. So 9 to 11 one break, and again 2 hours, so lunch break we will have. Thereafter afternoon session also in the same way. Done? So don't worry about how can we sit for this much long hours. Even for the online students also I am telling you this. And next thing, how many marks you expect after attending this batch? Exemption, okay, 70, minimum 70, okay, fine. Then that's it, good. So nothing wrong in having expectation, but when you are expecting something, you also should know that you should put some effort, correct? I also can expect to become multi-billionaire or to become like Ambani, Adani and all. For that, whatever is the effort that I am putting, that is relevant, na? Correct or not? So therefore, what is the effort that you need to put in order to get this 60s and 70s? Few things that if you adhere, you will definitely get. Okay, number one, you should attend the classes regularly. Up to 6th Feb, whatever big business meetings or acquisitions or mergers that you are going to handle, please postpone that, and we will focus on our studies. And next thing, second, that is you should attend regularly. And see, online live students, face-to-face students, always I like a lot. I have a special importance for them in my heart. You know why? Google Drive students, not that I don't like them, I like them also because they are also paying fees for me. But what they do is that they watch the lectures on their own and they think that they will complete, but they will not. They will take 1 month, 1.5 months to complete. Because you guys would have already purchased a lot of Google Drive lectures. 6 months before you would have purchased. You need to get the mood to see that. After getting the mood, you need to open the laptop. Sometimes laptop charge will not be there, and you will open the laptop and you will see that some technical error will come at that time. Okay, we will complain, they will resolve after 1 day, and next day we will not have mood. You understood or not? And okay, after all these things you sit, half an hour you will watch. Immediately ting, like that one message will come in your mobile. You will see what is that message. Then you will go into the Instagram. So thereafter, once you see this, so 1 hour would have been spent, because in Instagram itself 1 hour over. You understood? So this is the problem that you guys will be having when you are watching Google Drive lectures. Face to face and online live is not like that. So it is having a time discipline. The moment you come, you need to attend, whether you like it or not, you have to sit and you need to attend. So even if you are not attending, in your subconscious something will be going in your ears. So therefore, please try to attend to the classes regularly till the time batch gets completed. Second, try to be attentive in the class and learn as much as you can in the class itself. I don't expect you to be 100% absorption. Even no one, even if I go to any seminar or lecture etc. and all, even I will not be able to be attentive 100%, but to the extent possible we need to absorb so that our revision time will be reduced. Okay, so this is the second thing. And third, please take up the test series and do the test series. You write that properly, including the mock test whichever is being conducted, and we are not charging anything extra from online live students and even you, anything extra for the test series, but for Google Drive students we are charging extra amount, but from you we are not charging that. So don't take it for granted. So please write, because you know for writing a test series and all outside what is the cost that they are collecting, so we are not charging that. So therefore please take that and evaluate whatever marks that you are getting. Then fourth point, the solved workbook whatever is given to you, try to practice as many questions as you can, but not the way in which you are doing already, not that way. I told you a different way. What is that? Don't see the answer. Without seeing the answer, you write the answer in the paper and then cross check what is the answer that is there in the book. Done? If you do that, I can definitely guarantee you 60 plus here. Definitely I can guarantee you. This batch, the coverage as well as the points that I am telling, everything if you are following, easily you will get 60 plus, and I have seen that. I am not boasting and all. So I have seen many batches, those who have put the effort and they are successful. This is not my first batch. So I started my career in 2007. 2007, very old, I am old only, okay. So I definitely don't belong to your category and all. So therefore 2007 itself I started my teaching profession, and today it is like 2023. This many years I have been taking classes. So many batches I have seen, and trust me, if you follow this, definitely it will work out. So definitely you would have asked your people who wrote the exams, and they would have suggested, nah, blindly you will not come and join, right? Maybe suppose if you are my interest student, if you know, you will know about me, so you will come. But others, you would have inquired. So trust me, it will work, okay? And last is that you should have faith on me. You should trust me. You should not question me, sir, why like this, all these things. Trust me, because whatever I am telling is really, if it is there only I will tell. If I am telling something wrong, what is the benefit I will get? I will not. So don't debate with me in the class, because the class time should not get affected. Definitely you might have done something differently in your practice than whatever is there in the law, and whatever is there in law only you need to write for exam. Whatever you are following in practice you cannot write in exam. Are you understanding? For example, some of you might have completed the article shape and would have practiced in GST etc. and all. What are the various modes of deposit into electronic cash ledger? We have to put some money into electronic cash ledger for payment of liability, GST liability. So what are the various modes of payment of GST? Net banking, then NEFT, RTGS, then OTC, like that, over the counter, like that is there. These are the 3 modes only in the portal, but as per law there are 6 modes. 6 modes are there as per law. UPI, IMPS, it is not at all there in portal. UPI is there, IMPS is there, debit card, credit card is there, and NEFT, RTGS, over the counter. So therefore 6 modes, different modes are there, but in the practice you will not be having. So GST, it's not law and practice, law or practice. You understood? Either follow law or practice. So we never have the connection here. So because the law is new and everyone will come and become finance minister, what to do? whether they know about this or they don't know about this, whomsoever is available, you know about finance. What is finance? Managing money. Okay, become finance minister, like that. Whether you have studied that, you know anything about economics? No. Previously, what was your knowledge? I worked as defense minister. Okay, you become finance minister. Previously, what you did? You worked as commerce minister. Okay, become finance minister. So they are giving portfolios like this, and a person who don't know anything about finance also has become finance minister. I am not telling anyone specific, in general I am telling, okay. So therefore, how the law will be like this, and I am not having any kind of negativity about BJP or Nirmala Sitharaman and all. I like her a lot, really. I appreciate her, the way she is transparent, the way she has a clarity of thought, everything is good. But end of the day, so even though a good person, but in a bad place will not suit, na. So this place requires a different knowledgeable person. So just because you are good, you cannot become a finance minister. That requires a little bit of art, and that's what I am telling, okay. It's nothing negativity about BJP etc. and all. So don't do anything to me. So therefore, in general, even I like BJP party a lot, and I really, I am a member also of BJP party. So therefore, but whatever I am talking is about the general policies. Whatever policies that they have taken, we should be little, knowing about that also, because then only you will able to remember the provision why it has come. Okay, that's why. Fine. Let's move on to the subject now, and solve a book only when I need. I'll take the questions from that. Until that point of time, we do the learning from this revised book itself. So in this revised book, you take the index, page number 9. You can see the index here. And yeah, I did not tell about this. You will all get the backup of these lectures. Face to face online live students, you will get the backup of these lectures to the extent of 40%. And the number of hours these classes will be going is for 90 hours, 90. That is the scheduled number of hours. In this 90 hours, 40%, that is 36 hours, you will be given as a backup, which means entire 90 hours content you will have, but you can watch it only for 36 hours, which means you cannot watch entire lectures again. So few areas, maybe if you are missing the class, if you come to the class late, etc. and all, you will be able to see that. And some chapters, maybe in one time when I am telling itself, you will not be able to understand, because intermediate level topics and all, you will be easily understanding, because already you have the knowledge of GST at intermediate level. How many of you have not at all studied GST in inter? Okay, 4. Even online students you have, but you studied na yaar. Thereafter you studied na. Okay, fine. Because I know about him, that's why I told. And don't worry, you might be finding it difficult even with respect to the intermediate topics as well, but others will not be, and they will be having difficulty in little final level topics like refunds under GST, offences and penalties, imprisonment provisions, and thereafter this assessment, advanced ruling. There are some areas which are at the final level. Even input tax credit also little deep it will be there at final level. So those chapters you should be able to read it again or revise it again. That's why I gave you the backup lectures, but does not mean you can take it for granted. Okay, if I miss the class also, it's okay like that. Don't take it that way. Okay, please try to attend the classes in emergency cases, like health is something which is beyond your control, or some other emergency cases. If you miss the classes, you will have the backup with you. Okay, fine. Here, these are all the 32 segments that we have, which you can see in this page. So whatever I have given in the red and all is A category topics. Okay, so there's levy and collection under CGST, levy and collection under IGST, exemptions, place of supply, value of supply, input tax credit, refunds, ethics and other provisions, and valuation and types of customs duty, foreign trade policy. This ethics is new chapter. Ethics under GST is a new chapter that they have added in CA final new syllabus. Previously it was not there, and they added it now because lot of people who are doing practice in GST are not following ethical practices. For that they added this ethics in GST, but there is nothing related to ethics in this chapter. No, really. They said ethics in GST, but they did not speak anything ethical about GST, and they gave one chapter maybe to impress you know, the central government to pass the bill for change in syllabus. So they added this, but nothing in that. And foreign trade policy, there is an updated foreign trade policy. I think even for November 23 exam itself it was an updated one only, and but November 23 exam not great questions and all on FTP. Even at May 24 also I don't expect anything beyond 4 marks, because customs they have already reduced the weightage in new syllabus for 20 marks. Previously it was for 25 marks. Now they reduce the weightage for 20. Customs is only for 20 marks. In that FTP is also there. Customs and FTP together 20 marks. So we may get, we may not get question on FTP. If we are getting also hardly 4 marks only. Okay. But we cannot take it for granted. It is also there. We should revise that also. And GST is for 80 marks. Previously there used to be like 5 marks question, 4 marks question on GST, and again 5 marks question on customs. So in 4 questions we used to write customs. So question number 2 to question number 6, part C used to be customs for 5 marks. So 5 into 4, 20 marks, and in MCQ they will be testing from 5 marks. So that is where 25 marks weightage they will be following. Question number 1 never be customs, question number 1 always will be GST. But now what will happen is that as the weightage of the customs got reduced, so they will change the customs questions into 4 marks questions. 4 into 4, 16 plus MCQ 4 marks. That is how they will be making. You understood? So therefore GST will be 5 marks questions. So option like question number 2A, 2A 5 marks, 2B 5 marks, this 2 will be GST, and part C will be customs. So without knowing customs you cannot write a question, you cannot answer the question completely, you need to know part C as well. So that is why customs we need to learn, otherwise 20 marks we can leave. We cannot leave that way, because if you are writing a question number 2, 3 or 4, if you need to complete that you need to know part C, that is why. Okay. So we should read that also. And remaining that yellow color whatever I have given, those are all category B topics, and remaining topics are category C topics. And therefore we will be learning all the chapters in the same format, but when you prepare you need to give more importance to category A topics. I will not be giving any importance to category A and less importance to category B, because disclaimer, this is based on old syllabus question papers. In that also ICAI has not followed it regularly every attempt. There is no rule or any law it says that this way only they need to follow. This is just based on the old question papers. In one attempt, so they have asked a question on input tax credit for 40 marks, 40 marks in one chapter itself they have asked. So therefore we cannot say that ICAI will always follow this, but this is just a thumb rule mainly for importance point of view. So I have to give you this disclaimer I gave you, that too this May 24 being a new question paper. So please don't follow ABC analysis I gave, but you don't follow ABC analysis, it is my humble request. And one objective alone you keep in mind, any type of paper, that is whatever may be the difficulty, I need to attempt for 100 marks. Attempting does not mean writing the question number and coming, that is not attempting. Attempting means really you write, try to write the answer. So 100 marks if you are attempting the question paper, so then you can definitely expect 60 plus. If you are writing itself for 80 marks, how can you expect 60 plus in exam? You cannot. So that is why your objective should be write 100 marks. which means maybe correct or wrong, that's a different story, but you need to write. For that you need to learn the subject. So never give any importance or less importance like that, okay. Then this is the list of amendments for May 24 exam. This many amendments are there, a hell lot of amendments are this time. So compared to previous November 23 itself, I requested, I begged many people, clear yaar, May 24 is not like what you think, there will be lot of attempts. They didn't listen to me, or they listened to me, but unfortunately other subjects they did not. So because of which, you know, they have to read now all these things again. And the problem is, if you are learning for the first time, no issue, already you learned something. Now this is the change, and you go to the exam. What if you write the old provision and all? So that is the risk that is involved. You have to unlearn few things and learn few things. So we have that many amendments this time, and this I gave you in like this 2 pages, so that exam, before the exam day, what you need to do is that hardly some 1.5 hour or 2 hours you need to sit and complete these amendments and go, because every May attempt 16 marks to 20 marks on an average they will be asking questions on amendments. 16 marks minimum and maximum 20, beyond that also. Every May attempt I have observed this, because of the Finance Act. A new Finance Act will come, and usually in GST also government will make lot of changes during July, August, September, these 3 months. July, August, September, they make lot of changes in the form of GST council meetings, they meet. So in this GST council meetings also lot of amendments they will be keeping. So due to that reason, every May attempt there will be good number of amendments, and from that only questions will be coined. So this May attempt is also not an exception. I say already released the study material, 4 volumes of study material. Then again they released one updated study, statutory update, like that they released one thing. You are aware of that? If you see the soft copy of the study materials, study material 4 volumes, thereafter one statutory update like that, some 150 pages something they have released, okay. That also I incorporated in this, so you don't have to refer. And previously we did not have list of goods under RCM, now they added that. So now they have added list of goods under RCM. Previously we did not study. I used to say there are some list of goods which are covered under RCM, so out of syllabus you don't have to learn, etc. and all. So now they added that list of goods under RCM. Service under RCM is also there, goods under RCM is also there. So like this some good changes. And then online gaming, online money gaming. So for that also a number of provisions they have made. Everything we will be seeing. You can see the heading itself 2 pages, means you can understand, okay. This is just headings, headings itself 2 pages. And then this first chapter actually is not there in syllabus. This first chapter they have removed in the new syllabus, Introduction to GST, because you all know about GST, Introduction to GST. So in new syllabus they removed this chapter. The first chapter itself starts from supply, but as you should be knowing little bit of basics, so that's why quickly we will see this. Not even one question will come from in exam about this, just to know the idea about this, okay. And what is the effective date of implementation of GST? 1st July 2017, superior, you know that. And whether GST requires any constitutional amendment or no constitutional amendment is required for GST. There was a requirement. Why? Because 7th schedule to the constitution had 3 lists: union list, state list and concurrent list. Union list means central government will make the law, and state list means state government will make the law. Concurrent list means where both central government and state government shall make the law. And certain entries were reserved for union government, certain entries were reserved for state government. But GST is something which is common for both central government and state government, because what type of GST are we following? Is it a single GST or dual GST that India follows? Dual GST. Dual GST means what? Central government as well as state government parallelly levy tax, that is known as dual GST model. So which means central government is also having power to make law and state government is also having power to make law. So we need to amend the 7th schedule to the constitution. So a constitution amendment was required and then only GST came. But GST law came in 2017, but the constitution amendment happened in 2016, previous year. Okay. So Constitution 101st Amendment Act was enacted in August 2016, and then previously in 2014 itself the bill was presented and it became Act, Constitution Amendment Act in 2016, and in July only 2017 July only it became GST law. The new law has come, and whether GST law is applicable to entire country or entire country except Jammu and Kashmir, entire country including Jammu and Kashmir, as Article 370 to the Constitution got abrogated, there is nothing like that now called as not applicable to Jammu and Kashmir. Every law will by default be applicable to Jammu and Kashmir. Then how GST is formed? By subsuming various old indirect taxes. What were those old indirect taxes? Central government used to levy central excise duty, and they used to levy customs duty, they used to levy service tax, and they used to levy central sales tax. These were the 4 indirect taxes levied by central government in the past. Central excise duty on manufacture, customs duty on import or export, service tax on provision of services, central sales tax on interstate sales. Except customs duty, everything got subsumed into GST. So central excise duty got subsumed, service tax got subsumed, and central sales tax got subsumed into GST, and additional customs duties, so that is CVD and SAD. There was countervailing duty and special additional duty to counterbalance excise duty and sales tax. So those two also got subsumed into GST. So therefore on import, what is that we need to pay? Whether customs duty got subsumed into GST? No. So on import, are we required to pay customs duty now also? Yes. But previously on import we used to pay CVD, SAD, like that, 2 additional duties we used to pay. CVD full form countervailing duty, SAD full form special additional duty. These 2 we used to pay in the past. Past in the sense before 1/7/2017 we used to pay, and that got subsumed into GST, which means apart from customs duty we should also pay GST on import. Is it clear here? Just remember this point. Again in customs we will connect this. Whenever we are importing we need to pay customs duty as well as GST. And state government levies also got subsumed into GST, that is value added tax, 6 state government levies in the past. Value added tax on intra-state sale, purchase tax whenever goods are purchased into one territory, and then lottery, betting and gambling tax, entertainment tax, luxury tax and advertisement tax. These were the 6 indirect taxes levied by state government in the past, that also got subsumed into GST. Apart from this 6, other indirect taxes levied by state governments not got subsumed into GST. What are they? What are the other indirect taxes levied by state government not got subsumed? We have something called as local body tax, professional tax, then municipal taxes. These are all the other indirect taxes which are levied by the state governments or local authorities, not got subsumed into GST. So why we should know this? See, this will not exactly be asked, but this has some implications in the other places. That's why I am just giving you this information. So this first chapter alone, don't prepare with the objective of exam, just to know. So you don't have to prepare also, just hear once, that is enough. You will not get one question also from this. Okay, then so therefore first, all indirect taxes levied by central government except customs duty got subsumed into GST, and specified indirect taxes levied by state government, these 6 got levied, previously levied, got subsumed. What are they? Purchase tax, entertainment tax, value added tax, advertisement tax, luxury tax and betting tax. Remaining not got subsumed. Even local authority taxes not got subsumed. So what are the 2 major indirect taxes at present? GST and customs. So that's what I have given. And model of GST, single or dual? Dual. Dual means both CG and SG parallelly levy tax on the common value. For example, 500 rupees is the restaurant bill, 2.5% CGST, 2.5% SGST. So that is called as dual GST. The CGST will go to central government, SGST will go to state government. And we have adopted, India has adopted this dual GST model from Brazil and Canada. Then accordingly we have different types of GSTs. So what are the various types of GSTs? Total we have 5 types of GSTs. And what are those 5? CGST, you know, SGST, then IGST, next UTGST, compensation cess, 5. So CGST full form, Central Goods and Services Tax, SGST, State Goods and Services Tax, and UTGST, Union Territory Goods and Services Tax, IGST, Integrated Goods and Services Tax, and then GST compensation cess. Now these 5 depends upon whether a transaction is intra or inter. What is the meaning of intra-state supply or interstate supply? First, what is supply? We will be learning in the next chapter. That next chapter itself is supply only. Supply is the taxable event under GST. Whenever supply happens, we need to pay GST, otherwise GST is not payable. Is it clear? So what is taxable event means? One event on happening of which we need to pay tax is known as taxable event, and that taxable event is supply under GST. This supply is divided into 2, intrastate and interstate. What is intrastate means? There are 2 factors that you need to keep in mind: location of supplier and place of supply. So location of supplier means where that person is registered or operating in business, that is the location of supplier. Suppose if I am doing business from my registered place, that registered place is the location of supplier. If I am doing business or if I am providing services from a fixed establishment elsewhere, that fixed establishment elsewhere will be taken as the location of supplier. If I am partly providing service from my location and the fixed establishment elsewhere, that location which is most directly concerned to the service will be taken as the location of supplier. For example, I am taking classes in this building, but this building is not the place where I have registered, because I have registered my office which is in Anna Nagar, and I am coming and taking classes in Nungambakam. So what will be taken as the location of supplier? The place, the fixed establishment where I am taking the classes will be taken. Suppose if it is consultancy services etc. and all normal consulting services etc. from my office where I am doing, that will be taken as the location of supplier. Now you do audit, outstation audit. During outstation audit, so you go to the client's place for the purpose of verification etc. and finalization you will be doing in your office, correct or not? Now in that case, partly in the business establishment where you register, partly in the fixed establishment elsewhere, correct? So that establishment which is most directly concerned. What is the establishment most directly concerned for your service? Where you will sign the audit report? Where you will sign the audit report? Office. So therefore that office will be taken, because in audit report you need to mention the place now where you are signing. So that will be taken as the location of supplier. Got the clarity? Partly from your registered place, partly from the fixed establishment elsewhere. That establishment which is most directly concerned should be taken. That is what location of supplier. Again we will come across this in place of supply chapter, don't worry, okay. Then what is place of supply? For different transactions we have different place of supply. Depending upon the transaction, the place of supply will change. For example, in case of service in relation to immovable property, all immovable property related service like renting, construction, works contract, so we need to take location of immovable property as the place of supply. Sometimes location of recipient will be place of supply, sometimes location of supplier will be place of supply, sometimes location where service is actually performed is the place of supply. It differs. So depending upon the place of supply for a transaction, we need to take, we have a separate chapter for that called as place of supply. Now what are the 2 factors? Location of supplier and place of supply. If these 2 are in the same state or same union territory, it is known as intrastate. If it is in 2 different states, two different union territories, a state and a union territory, then it will be interstate. That's it, pa. So section 8 of IGST Act and 7 of IGST Act will deal with meaning of intrastate and interstate. Again, we will come across this in charge under IGST Act. So therefore, you don't have to remember any section here. So just meaning you try to understand. Intra means what? Location of supplier and place of supply in the same state or same union territory. Inter means location of supplier and place of supply in two states, two union territories, a state and a union territory. And in case of intrastate supply, what are the types of GSTs that we will have? CGST plus SGST or CGST plus UTGST. CGST plus SGST when if it is within the state. CGST plus UTGST if it is within the union territory. And IGST when if it is interstate. And remember, in IGST, who will collect the IGST? CGST, central government will collect. SGST, state government will collect. And UTGST, who will collect? Central government, because union territories are under whose control? Central government control. So central government will collect. And then IGST, who will collect? Central government. But in IGST, dual GST model is not achieved. You take CGST plus SGST. CGST go to center, SGST go to state. Again, CGST plus UTGST same way. CGST will go to center and UTGST will go to again center because we don't have the state. But IGST completely retained by the center. Then dual GST will not be achieved. So they should share 50% with the state. Which state they will be sharing? Consuming state. For example, I am located in Tamil Nadu and you are located in Andhra Pradesh and I am making supply to you. It's an interstate supply. Now IGST will be collected by central government and will 50% be given to Tamil Nadu, that is supplier state, or Andhra Pradesh, recipient state? Andhra Pradesh, because GST is a destination based consumption tax. So they need to give it to that state depending upon the place of supply. So that's what I have given. 50% shared with consuming state based on place of supply, it will be given IGST. Then there is something called as GST compensation cess. It is for this reason only. Whenever IGST is collected by central government, 50% is given to whom? Originating state or consuming state? Consuming state means producing states will have loss. Definitely, because producing states are producing the goods and which will be sold in the consuming states, which means producing states will not get any amount. So the GST will go to the consuming states, then producing states might be at loss. So due to that reason, to compensate that loss, central government has agreed to pay compensation to the states on account of implementation of GST. Because we are implementing GST, previously all sales tax methods were originating tax. So originating states only used to collect the sales tax, but in GST they shifted it to consuming state. So therefore originating states may suffer the losses, for which they are telling because of GST. If you are having any loss, to whom? State government. That loss will be compensated by whom? Central government. Will the central government compensate this loss out of their pocket? No. Why will they compensate out of their pocket? We are all there na. So therefore it will be levied on us. What is the name of that? GST compensation cess. And they are collecting from us and they are paying to states as if they are compensating it. So GST compensation cess is levied to compensate the loss incurred by the states or union territories on account of implementation of GST. And this GST compensation cess is levied on all goods and services? No, only on notified goods, not on services. GST compensation cess is not on service, only on goods, that too notified goods. What are those notified goods? We don't have to learn those goods for exam purpose. So generally automobile sector. Automobile sector has GST compensation cess. You know what is the GST compensation cess on SUVs? 22%. What is the GST rate on SUV? You know, 28%. Which means what is the car? Latest nice car SUV. Mahindra Thar we will take. Thar. Thar's Mahindra Thar. You know what is the ex showroom price without GST? 10 lakhs only. Just 10 lakhs. okay, and on that 28% you add GST, 2,80,000, and you add 22% compensation cess, 2,20,000, means 5 lakhs you are paying as what? GST. On the top of that, registration charges, insurance, road tax, etc., it will come to 18 lakhs. You understood? So literally when you buy Mahindra Thar car, so there is Alto car inside. Really, yeah? So an Alto car is inside, 5 lakhs car, okay? So where, sir, it is inside? If you open, you will know, okay? So one budget car they are collecting as GST and GST compensation cess. So this cess which is collected from the notified goods will be payable to whom? To the states which are suffering the loss. Means they will be collecting from entire country, yes. Compensation cess is not collected from only those states where they want to pay the compensation. They will be collecting it across. Tamil Nadu don't need compensation cess. Reason being, already Tamil Nadu has got enough of GST revenues. There is no loss on account of implementation of GST to Tamil Nadu. But even if you buy any vehicle in Tamil Nadu, you need to pay compensation cess. Sir, where this compensation amount will be paid? Where this compensation amount will be paid? There, Bihar, West Bengal, you can see now some states above. So 1 rupee also they will not pay GST. For that, whatever compensation cess we pay, it will go there. You understood or not? I am not trying to create any disparity between the states and all, but you should know the reality. So it shall be levied for a period of 5 years. Sir, how many years, sir? 5 years. Already over na, sir, over. They can extend. Accordingly, they extended till 31st March 2026. After that, sir, that too no guarantee. They may extend further also. Okay. So till the time some states in India starts generating some revenue, so we will have this burden of GST compensation cess. So 5 years already over and can be extended for a further period as decided by GST Council, and they decided to extend it till 31st March 2026. And see this illustration, you tell me what is the nature of supply. Look into the screen. Location of supplier Tamil Nadu, place of supply Tamil Nadu. Type of GST? CGST, SGST. CGST will go to central government. SGST will go to, that is Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu SGST. Then second, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Nature, interstate. Type of GST? IGST. And in that IGST, 50% will go to Karnataka because that is the consuming state. Okay. Then location of supplier Jammu and Kashmir and place of supply Ladakh. Intra or inter? Inter, because Jammu and Kashmir is now not a state. Jammu and Kashmir is divided into 2 union territories. So Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and Union Territory of Ladakh. These are 2 union territories, separate union territories. So one union territory to another union territory is interstate. What is interstate? Location of supplier and place of supply in 2 different states, 2 different union territories, a state and a union territory, 2 different union territories. So it's interstate. So chargeable to IGST. And in that IGST, see the place of supply. What is place of supply? Ladakh. Ladakh is what? Union territory. Union territory with state legislature or without state legislature? Without state legislature. So union territories with state legislatures are what? Pondicherry, Delhi, Jammu and Kashmir. Union territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Delhi and Pondicherry are 3 union territories with state legislature that will be treated like a state. Even though for namesake we call them as union territories, but they are literally functioning like a state. But all other union territories, what are the other union territories? Ladakh, then Daman, Diu, Dadra, Nagar Haveli. So that is now one union territory. Daman, Diu, Dadra, Nagar Haveli. Then Lakshadweep, then Andaman and Nicobar, then one more. Chandigarh, not Goa. Goa, Maldives, no. So this Chandigarh. So these 5 are the union territories without state legislature. But these 5 union territories are under whose control? Central government's control. This will not be treated like a state. So as Ladakh is under whose control? central government's control, which means there is no sharing of 50%. Are you understanding this? 50% usually given to the consuming state, but here consuming state is not under the control of a state government, it is under the control of central government. So 50% sharing is not applicable. Is it clear? Entirely retained by central government. Then next, location of supplier Ladakh, place of supply Jammu and Kashmir, nature of supply interstate, and type of GST IGST, whether 50% sharing is required or not. Yes, because Jammu and Kashmir is under state control, so that is state as a state, so 50% shared with Jammu and Kashmir. Now, location of supplier Ladakh, place of supply Ladakh, nature of supply intra, type of GST CGST plus UTGST. CGST will go to central government, UTGST go to central government only, because this is union territory with or without state legislature. Then location of supplier Jammu and Kashmir, place of supply also Jammu and Kashmir, nature of supply intrastate, type of GST CGST plus SGST. Jammu and Kashmir is union territory with state legislature. Remember, there are 3 union territories with state legislature where SGST Act is applicable, that is Jammu and Kashmir, Delhi and Pondicherry, these 3. Okay. Then next, so CGST will go to central government and that SGST will go to Jammu and Kashmir. Tamil Nadu and Puducherry interstate, nature type of GST IGST. Will 50% be given? Yes, because Puducherry is union territory with state legislature. Now, so I have given those in the previous page. So Constitution, 122nd Amendment Bill, 101st Amendment Act, we have 1 CGST Act. How many central governments are there? 1. So 1 CGST Act. 31 SGST Acts. 31 SGST Acts. How, sir? We have 28 states only na? We have 28 states only. Then how this extra 3 we got? These 3 union territories with state legislature I said na? Those 3 only will be added. So that's where we will have 31 SGST Acts. 28 states, 3 union territories with state legislature. 1 UTGST Act for 5 union territories. And 1 IGST Act for entire India. And then position of goods under GST in comparison to earlier indirect tax system. There are 2 goods which will not come under the ambit of GST. What are they? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption and petroleum products. What are the petroleum products? Crude oil, petrol, diesel, aviation turbine fuel and natural gas. These are the 5 petroleum products which will not come under GST at present. But this exclusion of alcoholic liquor for human consumption from the ambit of GST, is this exclusion permanent or temporary? Permanent. It will never come under the ambit of GST. Whereas this petroleum products exclusion from the GST is temporary. It will come into GST as and when GST Council decides. So they don't know when they will decide. I am telling this for last 10 attempts. So temporarily it is excluded. Whenever GST Council decides, it will come. I really don't know when it is going to be. So as on today, there are 2 non-taxable supplies under GST. What are they? Non-taxable supplies means not covered under levy. What are the 2 supplies which are not at all covered under levy? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption and petroleum products. What about LPG? LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, covered under the ambit of GST or not? Yes, because petroleum products don't have LPG. Natural gas is different from liquefied petroleum gas. And what about kerosene oil? GST attracted or not attracted? Attracted, because in the 5 petroleum products kerosene oil is not there. And what about engine oil or lubricating oil? GST applicable, because again in 5 petroleum products we don't have. What about cooking wine? Cooking wine. Cooking wine is not alcohol. No, there won't be any alcohol in cooking wine. Okay, so don't take cooking wine in supermarket and drink and all. No use. So there won't be anything in that. Okay, so this cooking wine will not have alcoholic liquor for human consumption. So GST applicable or not applicable? Yes, GST will be applicable on that. Okay, but any alcoholic liquor for human consumption, there won't be GST. So like beer or vodka, whiskey, rum, gin or brandy, anything, there won't be any GST. Sir, but beer has little element of alcohol, sir, let it be. Alcoholic liquor for human consumption, no GST. If that be the case, cough syrup also has alcohol. So then no GST on cough syrup. But that alcohol which is there in the cough syrup is not for human consumption. That's a concentrated alcohol. So just because cough syrup has alcohol, no one will buy half liter and drink. No, you understood. So therefore, it is not coming under alcoholic liquor for human consumption. So due to that reason, GST will be applicable on cough syrups. Okay. So because basically they are medicinal preparations due to that reason. So only two non-taxable supplies. What are they? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption and petroleum products. And alcoholic liquor, as there is no GST, which means there is no indirect taxes. No, definitely there is indirect taxes. On manufacture of alcohol, they need to pay state excise duty. State excise duty goes to state government. And on sale, they need to pay CST and VAT. That will go to state government. CST full form is what? Central sales tax. Even though it is levied by central government, but it is collected and retained by state government. So it will go to state government only. VAT also will go to state government. Means one drop also will not go to central government. You understood or not? So fully alcohol, state government only will consume. You understood? Then next, petroleum products, there is no GST. Then until that point of time, on manufacture we need to pay central excise duty. On sale we need to pay CST and VAT. Then look into one special product here, tobacco and tobacco products. On tobacco there is GST, yes, why not? There is tobacco and tobacco products GST, but even central excise duty is also there, but we don't have sales tax. So excise duty at present is applicable on three goods. What are they? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption, petroleum products, tobacco and tobacco products. These three products has excise duty. Alcohol, what duty? State excise duty. And petroleum products, central excise duty. And tobacco and tobacco products, central excise duty. Literally excise duty is there on these three products. Correct? Yes or no? At present, yes. On import of these three products, there is CVD. You got it. On import of these three products, there is CVD, countervailing duty, that is under customs. So that's a connection between here and the customs. Okay. So you just take customs, so in customs, the types of customs duties you can see page number 350, page number 350 you can see. Online students, if you don't have book, sorry yaar, because already those students who enrolled in the past itself, we have sent the books to them. If you have enrolled recently, so we would have dispatched it on Saturday or Friday. You might be receiving it, kindly manage. Page number 350 you can see, an alcoholic liquor for human consumption, petroleum products, tobacco and tobacco products. Because we are selling domestic, there is excise duty. So on import also we have CVD. And why CVD? Because I told you CVD is to counterbalance excise duty. Locally, if excise duty is there, on import we will be having CVD. You understood? Clear? And that is the connection between this place to that place. So in case of import, while doing the customs duty computation, be careful. If there are three products imported, are we importing these three products? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption, are we importing? Yes, a number of brands here, Antiquity, Jack Daniels, and even Old Monk, Napoleon, these are all some brands which are being imported, which is not available in India. So therefore we are importing. How you know, sir? General knowledge only, general knowledge only. And then petroleum products. Petroleum products, are we importing petrol? Yes, very much. ATF we are importing, aviation turbine fuel. And tobacco and tobacco products, yes, tobacco and tobacco products also we are importing. There are imported cigarettes are there, okay, and concentrated tobacco stuffed into electric cigarettes, so that is also we are importing, okay. So it will be in the form of a liquid battery operated cigarette. You don't have to buy cigarettes and all, no, not required. One electric cigarette will be there, battery operated, we need to charge it, and there will be one liquid will be there, you need to pour the liquid in that 2-3 drops and you can have, okay. So the same effect of having a cigarette you will be getting, imported ones, okay, which is available here in India. What is that? Your CA students, no, you don't know all those things. So you should have general knowledge also, but where, sir, going our articleship itself, we don't have time. So these 3 are being imported. On import of these 3 goods, whether customs duty along with CVD is payable, yes. Domestic excise duty is payable. You understood? Then come back. Sir, whether any sales tax is payable on tobacco products? No. But GST is payable. Sir, then there will be double taxation. Yes, let it be. What is your problem? Are you smoker or what? So let them pay here. So government is going to get more money. They will get. We don't have any problem in that. Other goods, there is only GST and we don't have old indirect taxes. So therefore, what are the 2 non-taxable supplies at present? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption and petroleum products. Non-taxable supplies means what? Not covered under levy. Services, is there anything like this? No, all services are covered under levy, few are exempted and few are taxable. What is exempted means? Covered under levy, but we don't have to pay GST on that. Right now it is exempted. That is the meaning of exempted, okay. But 2 will never come under the levy, that is non-taxable, alcohol and petroleum products. Then look into this input tax credit in GST. Generally, what is input tax credit means? I did not ask ITC means what? ITC means you will tell input tax credit. I asked what is input tax credit? Tax paid on inward supplies. Remember, what is input tax credit? Tax paid on inward supplies. What is input tax credit? Tax paid on inward supplies. So you are making some inward supplies. Whenever you are purchasing some inward supplies, so like let it be goods or services, on that you will pay some GST. That GST will be called as input tax credit. What you can do with that? You can set off against your output liability. For example, I am a trader. I am purchasing for 1 lakh. On that 1 lakh, 12% I paid as GST. So 1 lakh into 12% is how much? 12,000. Now I am selling for 2 lakhs. On that 2 lakhs, how much GST? 24,000. So 24,000 minus 12,000. Effectively, I need to pay how much? Only 12,000. Okay. So see this. So there is a trader. You don't have to make note of this, just for understanding purpose I am writing. So there is some outward supplies and there is some inward supplies. 1 lakh plus 12% GST, and this is inward, and outward will be say 1,50,000. I'll take 1,50,000 plus 12% GST. Now this 12% GST on outward is what? 18,000. So what is the name of this 18,000? This 18,000 is known as output tax. This 18,000 is known as output tax. Then what is this 12% of 1 lakh? 12,000. What is this 12,000 called as? Input tax. Tax on input, tax on output. You understood? Tax on input, tax on output. Now this 12,000 we can set off against output tax, and what is the net GST payable? Net GST payable is 6,000. How to compute the net GST payable? Gross GST. So this output tax is known as gross GST payable. Gross GST payable on outward supply minus input tax credit. What is input tax credit? Tax paid on inward supply. So this is known as net GST payable 6,000 rupees. Is it clear? And so here what I am doing is that I am collecting 18,000 rupees from my customer as tax. In that already I paid 12,000 at the time of purchase. So the 12,000 I recovered. What is left with me? 6,000 that I pay to the government. That is the logic here. So as this 12,000 I am going to recover from my customer in future, this 12,000 will be called as my receivable. So therefore this I will classify as a asset. This I will classify as asset and I will show it under current assets. It is a receivable, but really I am not getting money, but I will be able to recover this. That's why I will show it as an asset in my books. Whereas this output tax is my liability. So therefore, this liability I am setting off through this asset, net amount I will pay. So this 18,000 which is output tax will be shown in one ledger called as electronic liability ledger. This liability ledger I will not maintain, GST network will maintain on behalf of me. So liability in my book shows what balance? Liability in my books, taxpayer books, shows what balance? Debit balance or credit balance? Liability shows debit balance or credit balance? Hats off. So credit balance, all liabilities will show credit balance and all assets will show debit balance. Good, chartered accountants. So therefore 18,000 rupees will be showing credit balance in my books because it is my liability. But as they maintain the ledger on behalf of me, so in the ledger it will show a debit balance. Is it clear or not? Contra, just like our cash book and passbook logic. Okay. Same way this 12,000 rupees will be showing what balance in my books, taxpayer books? It's an asset. Asset shows debit balance, but as they maintain the ledger, it will show a credit balance. So this output tax will be reported in electronic liability ledger, electronic liability ledger, and this input tax credit 12,000 will be shown in electronic credit ledger, electronic credit ledger, and the difference I have to pay, so that I will pay through electronic cash ledger. Is it clear here? And how this 18,000 will go into electronic liability ledger? How this 18,000 will go into electronic liability ledger? I need to file one return. I in the sense this trader. Okay. So this trader is the taxpayer. So trader has to report this 18,000 in one return. And what is that return? GSTR1. GSTR1 and GSTR3B. These are the two returns which will be filed by every registered person. What are the two returns? GSTR1 and GSTR3B. GSTR1 contains only outward supply details. GSTR3B contains consolidated details of our liability, our input tax credit, net liability, interest, everything will be there. It's a summary return. GSTR3B is a summary return, whereas GSTR1 is a return containing the details of outward supplies. Only outward supplies details will be there in GSTR1, but in 3B it's a summary return. Now, the moment this trader reports the liability in GSTR1 and GSTR3B, his electronic liability ledger gets updated by 18,000 rupees. Understood or not? As liability, as liability. Now, whenever the trader files GSTR3B and avail the ITC, he should avail the ITC. And how he will avail the ITC? In the GSTR3B. Who's 3B? Traders 3B. So in traders 3B, they will go to table 4. In the table 4, input tax credit column will be there. In that input tax credit, they will be entering how much input tax credit they want to avail. Okay. So little bit of practicality I am just showing you so that you can comprehend as to how it will be reported and all. So the moment you see GSTR1, so the trader first reports in his GSTR1 the details of outward supplies. So he need to go to B2B supply. So this is the table. In this table, GSTR1, I am talking about GSTR1. What data should be shown in GSTR1? Outward supply data. What is that outward supply data? 18,000. So that is 1,50,000 plus 18,000. This 1,50,000 plus 18,000 should be shown here. Recipient GSTIN, and thereafter automatically recipient name and all will come, and invoice date tax invoice, place of supply. See, place of supply, we need to select from the drop down. By default, the place of supply will be GSTIN first two digits. Hope it is visible to you. GSTIN first two digits is 33. So, as GSTIN first two digits is 33, by default in place of supply it will be selected as Tamil Nadu. But we can change this. We can change this. Not necessary that whatever is our recipient location, that should be the place of supply. In the drop down we can change this. Why we need to change this? For example, you go to Delhi for the purpose of conducting an outstation audit. You stay in a hotel. The hotel is in Delhi, and for the hoteler in Delhi, the place of supply is Delhi only, not Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Why? Because in case of service in relation to immovable property, location of immovable property will be taken as a place of supply. So, where is the immovable property located? Delhi. So, which means for the hotel person, location of supplier Delhi and place of supply will be Delhi, but the recipient is in Tamil Nadu. Now, they will enter recipient Tamil Nadu. By default, it will come as 33 Tamil Nadu, but you need to change that to Delhi, then only it will become intrastate supply. Sir, what will happen if we keep like this? Nothing. So, it will become interstate supply and IGST will be payable, and recipient also will enjoy the credit. But tomorrow Delhi SGST office, he will get a notice stating that you classified intrastate as interstate. So, there is a shortfall of payment of SGST, you pay the SGST. But already I paid IGST, that we don't know, you first pay the SGST, you got it. So, which means he need to pay CGST, SGST, get refund of that IGST. So, this is a unnecessary torture for him. Now, of course, there is no interest and there is no penalty on account of wrong classification. If you classify intrastate as interstate, there is no penalty, there is no interest payment, but you need to pay the correct tax and get the refund of wrong tax. You need to pay cash outflow. Okay, again you need to get the refund, it will take time. Refund is not immediate. Today you make application, tomorrow you will get it, not like that. You make application, after you make application 60 days is the statutory time limit to give you the refund. Within that 60 days if they are not giving, 61st day onwards they will pay the interest, that to 6% per annum. You understood or not? So, therefore, this is what you will be getting, but cash outflow is there now. Time value of money gets affected, that is the risk that is involved in this place. That is why we should be careful while doing the classification itself. And now, here liability we will report. How much is the liability? 1,50,000 we will enter in taxable value, and in GST we will be showing that under 12% or 18% wherever it is, and we created a record. So, this record once you create, it will be added to your liability, and this amount will automatically come in your GSTR 3B, that is the traders 3B, this liability gets reflected. Understood? So, now let us see traders 3B. What will happen? The moment trader opens his 3B for outward supplies, 3B there is table 3.1. In the table 3.1 outward supply details, in this outward supply details that liability will be reported here, but not invoice wise. In GSTR1 invoice wise we need to add, but here summary final amount will be shown here. This is his liability. Over. So, 18,000 ka adjustment you know na. Now, you will see that 12,000 rupees input tax credit. So, here in table number 4, table number 4 talks about eligible ITC. GSTR 3B of the trader, table number 4 eligible ITC. In this eligible ITC, he need to enter how much is the input tax credit. So, 1 lakh into 12%, 12,000 rupees, but he cannot just like that enter, because today we have the concept of matched credit. Only matched ITC can be taken as ITC in 3B, which means this 12,000 rupees whatever if he wants to take in GSTR 3B, who wants to take in GSTR 3B? Trader wants to take in GSTR 3B, should have been reflected in one return called as GSTR 2B. What is this GSTR 2B? The GSTR 2B is a statement given to the trader by the portal based on the GSTR1 of his supplier. Whose supplier? Trader's supplier. So trader will have one supplier. If it is purchase for trader, then to an idiot it will be sales. Who is that? His supplier. So his supplier will be filing one GSTR1. Based on the GSTR1 of his supplier, he will be able to get the GSTR2B. So GSTR2B, if you see, it will have the details of inward supplies. 2A and 2B both are there, but today 2A is irrelevant. 2A is for reference only. 2A rest in peace. You understood? So 2A was version 1.0 and then they released 2B which is version 2.0. Now they are telling you follow version 2.0 only, 2B only. 2A they will scrap it soon. Okay. So in this 2B there will be input tax credit details like this, ITC. Whatever is the ITC that is reflected in 2B, that much only can be taken as ITC in 3B. Whatever is the ITC reflected in 2B, that much only can be taken as ITC in 3B. The moment this trader takes the ITC in 3B, it will go to his electronic credit ledger. Understood or not? Then he can set off his credit ledger balance with the liability ledger. So the differential amount he need to pay as tax to government. So far whatever I have discussed is a practical process which will not be tested in exam, but those points you should be knowing. What is liability ledger, what is credit ledger, what is cash ledger, and only matched ITC can be taken and these returns. Okay. Now tell me what is GSTR1? Return containing the details of outward supplies. Okay. Then what is GSTR2B? Statement of inward supplies. Statement of inward supplies. Who will be giving that statement of inward supplies? Whether we need to file or we will get it? We will get it. Auto populated. From where? Portal. How portal will be able to give that detail to us? Based on GSTR1 of supplier. How we file GSTR1 for our outward supplies, like that our supplier will file GSTR1 for their outward supplies. Based on the GSTR1 of the supplier, the data will be reflected in GSTR2B of the recipient. Okay. Then what is 3B? Summary return. That contains the details of all liabilities, credits, etc. What is liability ledger? Contains the details of output tax payable. And what is electronic credit ledger? Whenever we avail ITC in our 3B, avail means what? Taking the credit. Avail means taking the credit. Whenever we avail the ITC in GSTR 3B, it will go to the electronic credit ledger, and from that it will be adjusted towards electronic liability ledger. The differential amount we will pay through electronic cash ledger. So utilization means what? Set off. Availment means taking credit. Utilization means set off. You understood? Now tell me, what is the meaning of input tax credit? GST paid on inward supplies, avail as input tax credit, okay, in GSTR 3B, and utilized for payment of GST on outward supplies. This availment will happen in which return? 3B, GSTR 3B. Utilization will happen in which return? GSTR 3B. There is something called as reversal. This also you should be knowing. What is reversal? Reduction. Availment means what? Taking credit. Utilization means what? Set off of credit. Reversal means what? Reduction of credit. All these three things will happen in which place? GSTR 3B. Okay. You just write down this. You maintain one notebook, one small notebook is enough. Don't waste. Or if you have a sticky note also better. You can write in the sticky note and paste it. No sir, sticky notes and all will go sir. Then write in your notebook, one small notebook, and you give the page number of your notebook to the main book. Notebook is actually a reference only. You will be reading from your main book only. So in the notebook you give the page numbers. Today evening you sit and give some page 1, 2, 3, 4 like that for your notebook. Whatever information you write in your notebook ka page number you need to give in the text. so that you will read from the text. Any extra points you will refer to your notebook. Okay. So right there, availment of ITC, availment of ITC, availment of ITC equal to means what? Taking ITC, taking ITC in electronic credit ledger, in electronic credit ledger, availment of ITC equals to taking credit in electronic credit ledger through, how you will take? If you ask to come, it will come. Then you should do something. Now what? Through GSTR 3B, through GSTR 3B. Then next, utilization of ITC. Next time onwards, when you are writing in the exam answer sheet, you should not use the word taking ITC. You should use the word availment of ITC. Again, set off you should not use. What is the word you should use? Utilization of ITC. Utilization of ITC. What is that utilization means? Adjustment or set off? Adjustment or set off? Adjustment or set off of input tax credit, of input tax credit against gross liability, against gross liability. How this will happen? Through which return? GSTR 3B, through GSTR 3B. Means only when you file 3B you will be able to pay the tax. Without filing 3B, can you pay the tax? Without filing 3B, can I pay the tax? Yes. There is one way. I expected that from you. If you done DRC3, without filing 3B, we can pay the tax. That is through DRC3, one form. Okay. Without paying tax, can I file 3B? No, that is not possible. Without filing 3B, I can pay the tax. That is through DRC3. One form is there. Through DRC3, we can pay the tax without filing 3B. But without paying tax, I cannot file 3B. At the time of filing 3B, I should pay the tax as well. Okay. So therefore, the moment I file 3B, even the tax also should be paid. Okay. Only return I cannot file. Then next, reversal of ITC. Reversal of ITC. What is reversal of ITC means? Reduction of input tax credit. Reduction of input tax credit in case of excess availment or wrong availment. In case of excess availment or wrong availment. In case of excess availment or wrong availment, and such reversal is through GSTR 3B, is through GSTR 3B. Understood? So you can see in the same table 4 of GSTR 3B, you have B, ITC reverse. Can you see that? ITC reversed is there. In this place, I need to reduce the input tax credit, whatever I have wrongly availed in the earlier months. If I need to reduce, I can reduce it here. What if I don't have the balance? Say I have wrongly availed 1 lakh. I utilized it. I don't have the balance of input tax credit. What can I do? Pay. Means it will be added to the liability. You don't have to do that. If you put it as reversal here, automatically if you don't have the balance, it will be added to your liability itself. Okay. Then next, you need to make note of GSTR 1. Just a single line. What is it about? GSTR 1. What is that? return containing details of outward supply. Return containing details of outward supplies. GSTR1, return containing details of outward supplies. When it should be filed? So usually the due date is 11th of the month following every month, but we have a quarterly return also, but that is specific, exceptional cases, but generally it will be 11th of the month following every month, to be filed by 11th of the month following every month. So suppose if it is January month, by 11th of February, February month by 11th of March, like that it should be filed. Then GSTR 2B, what is 2B? Auto-populated statement of inward supplies based on GSTR 1 of supplier, in brackets available by when? Midnight of 13th. Midnight of 13th of next month. That's what in practice we say 14th, because by 13th 0000, so thereafter it will be available. So, but we will be seeing it next day morning only, that is what 14th we say in practice generally, okay. The next GSTR 3B, what does 3B contains? Summary or consolidated return containing the details of liability, input tax credit, interest, late fee, etc. to be filed by, usually it is 20th of the month following every month. Twentieth of the month following every month, okay. So these are some things which we have seen, and even 3 more points are also there that we have seen extra: electronic liability ledger, credit ledger, cash ledger, that you can understand, na? You don't have doubts in that. Liability ledger contains the details of outward liability, credit ledger contains the details of input tax credit, cash ledger contains how much amount I have to pay, net payable will be there in that. So we'll take a break and thereafter we will continue with the remaining aspects, okay.